He averaged almost 9 yards an attempt last year at Nebraska, which was 11th in the country. Is he going to really test your secondary downfield? So I think
Yep.
he throws it downfield.
Yeah, they're going to test us in two ways. Schematically, they're going to test us because they do a lot of really good things. You know, there's a ton of misdirection, a ton of play action, a ton of pistol play action, swap boots, RPO stuff that creates conflict. Really schemed up well that way, and I think that's really suits him. You know, a million cross mesh routes, a lot of mesh concepts, and again, screen game mixed in with it as well. But his ability to you know, throw the football on the move, I think is a huge challenge because he's very capable of, and he's confident as far as stepping up and, you know, up and out, or just, you know, getting out, and he's a guy that looks to throw. You know, again, he'll pull it down and run, but he looks to throw. So that's going to challenge us. So we've got to be great with our scramble drill. And again, going against our defense, I'm sure they're going to try to move him early, whether it be some, you know, guard pull scheme to get him on an edge where he can maybe throw back. You see some of that on tape to try to create, you know, a longer clock as opposed to just sitting in the pocket. I think you'll see some of those things from him, and you know, he's got some swagger to him. He's a good player. But yeah, he's gonna challenge us with his skill. But those receivers he's got, listen, this number one can fly. I mean, this guy is an absolute rocket. So you better know where he is every time we line up on defense. You better know where that guy is. And I mean, they got guys that can run for sure. So, but he can get it to him. He's confident, and you know, that the scheme and then himself will challenge those guys. It'll be a good test for us, for sure.
Because he's got Charlie Fry and Chad Lunsford and Evan Warner, a lot of those old Big Ten guys. Can you see that Big Ten influence?
Yeah, I mean, they,
especially with that offense.
well, they run the ball. I mean, again, when you watch this number 3, he's a downhill physical runner. So it's a good mix, you know, with a really physical downhill. Again, a lot of pistol play action stuff. Again, that creates a lot of conflict, and then they're throwing in behind your backers, especially against a defense like ours that's fast. So they'll try to manipulate our speed, I'm sure. And then we've seen, I don't know, about 3 trick plays in 2 games already. We've seen reverse passes. I mean, we've seen it all. So they've been very creative in their first couple of games, and you know, the physical run game presence is definitely a part of what they want to do, and it creates a lot of their, because again, they want to be a play action football team, you know, RPO type of a deal, and so you got to have that, and you certainly see that. And then they're huge. I mean, they're big dudes up front. One guy's 6'8", I don't know, 300. They're all 300 plus, so definitely can see, you know, they're trying to build something special down there.
You mentioned RPO. I know you said that Cade was a little indecisive the first week in that facet. Do you feel like he was more decisive to step forward?
I don't think he's been indecisive with the RPO game. I just think, you know, just indecisive with more the you know, pull run, not really RPO game. He's not been indecisive with that. There's just been a couple of things like, you know, let's make a decision. And that what I meant was on that turnover down there. That wasn't an RPO. That was just, you know, being decisive in the run game. The RPO game has been really good. I mean, shoot, you know, we almost had one for a 90-yard touchdown. We're about that far from Bo being out of bounds. That's an RPO. You know, we have several of those things. He's got a great feel for that stuff. He's really good. I mean, he's just got to eliminate the 2 or 3 bad plays, you know, or just make them bad plays. We can live with a bad play. You know, we just got to get rid of the catastrophe, and you know, so and we will. I mean, he's doing a lot of great things. I know we just focus on a couple of bad plays, but this kid's done some great stuff in 2 ball games. That's incredibly encouraging, and just going to keep getting better from there.
Brooke was talking to us a couple weeks ago that said that Peter Woods was bench pressing 475 when he got here. Have you had a stronger freshman arrive?
A stronger freshman? I don't think so. I mean, we've had some kids that have shown up, really strong, but I don't think we've ever had one stronger than Peter Woods. I mean, he's unique. Great, again, came from a great program in Alabama, 7A, well coached. I mean, football at Thompson High is I mean, it's important down there. They take it serious and they work hard at it year round, and that's what he's been exposed to since the 8th grade. I mean, he's been playing varsity football since the 8th grade. So this kid just way ahead what your typical kid walking into high school has been exposed to, both how he's been coached and just the competitiveness and the nature of, how they've trained all throughout his career there. And then just God's gifted him. I mean, he's just unbelievable. He's got a lot to work with, but he's put a ton of work into, and then naturally he's just so gifted. I mean, just a powerful, powerful kid.
Was it early in Chad's time here when y'all would visit with Ohio State staff and Herman was a part of that?
Yeah. We visited with them multiple times. In fact, they came down here. Tom and them came down here. Can't remember what year that was. And then one year we played them and then met with them and watched the game after we beat them. So that's what, that's kind of one of the things about coaching that's unique. The coaches have always, they get together and, obviously we wouldn't go meet with our in-state rival, but and break down tape together. But you get out of games like that, and you got relationships and things like that. Coaches meet and try to make each other better. Whether it be defensive coaches getting together or offensive coaches getting together, or linebacker coaches, OL coaches have their own, they have their own society, if you will. They meet in dark rooms all across the country to plot and scheme. So that's just the nature of the business. But yeah, it's kind of unique, But yeah, I've been around Tom several times. He's a good football coach.
Questions for Coach from Zoom?
Yeah, Dabo, this is Pete at AP. I have one, but I wanted to ask another kind of follow-up to that. Was that Ohio State thing, was that after the bowl game a few years ago, or was it one of the CFP games that you played?
I believe it was one of the CFP games. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I also wanted to, a little bit off topic, I guess there have been a couple of reviews this college season that have gone a little bit longer than some have wanted. Where do you stand on that? Are you let's get the call right no matter how long it takes, or hey, we need to keep things flowing in a good time?
I don't think we've had just
Not you guys.
yeah, I don't think we've had. I mean, I think there needs to be a good streamlined process for sure, and I think it's kind of conference to conference on how that's managed. I think it's been fine so far the first two games for us, but I want to get it right. I mean, I definitely want to get it right.
Yeah. Do you talk? Have you met with Al, who's the head of officials?
Riveron.
Do you provide any? Yeah. Do you provide any input on that process to him? Does he ask for input?
Oh, Al's great. I mean, he goes around. I mean, he came here just like I'm sure he went to all the schools and met with us for probably an hour or so, and we had an opportunity to talk about a lot of things, and he had things he wanted to talk about and make sure we all were on the same page. He wanted to explain, their process week in, week out as far as how they create accountability and what the expectations are and how, the mechanics of what they do, but also, whether it be plays that we send in that need to be reviewed, and that process on how we get the feedback so we have good communication all the way to instant replay like you're talking about and what his expectations for that is. So, yeah, I mean, he's been great. I really like Al, and I think he's got good control of what he's trying to do. And they got a new, I guess, command center that they're working out of up there in Charlotte. after 2 games, I don't have any complaints or anything like that.
Yeah. Thanks, Dabo. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Anybody else in the room for Coach?
It's only a 2-game sample, but first down timing rule change, any thoughts on that? Has it seemed drastic?
Yeah, you feel it in the fourth quarter. You feel it a little bit. That's good or bad, but you definitely feel like good this past week. I'm trying to get all my quarterbacks in, and that clock. Helms went on like a 22 play drive. It seemed like. I mean, it was a long drive, and that clock just kind of flew by, and then Duke game, you're trying to slow it down, and it's so you feel it one way or the other in the fourth quarter, but also on the flip side, we're averaging 80-something plays a game. So we're averaging more plays per game right now than we have in quite a while. So, and we had 37 first downs this week, and we had how many first downs we had the first game? 29 or something like that. 29 first downs in the first game. We've been getting our opportunities. There's no doubt about that. So it hasn't really affected our plays, to this point, but you feel it, and it's unfortunate that we missed a lot of opportunity in the first game, and now all of a sudden you get in a game where you just, you got to get a couple possessions, and boy, that clock, you feel it moving fast in the fourth quarter for sure.
With Gunn, you mentioned the low kicks. Is that something that was pretty easily correctable? I know you said you liked his performance.
Well, I don't know that I wouldn't say it's easily correctable. I think it's just a technical thing, and has not been an issue. It wasn't an issue all of camp. This kid's kicking it way high and over the pipes, but for whatever reason, he just. And again, sometimes you're gonna go through some growing pains along the way, whether it's stage fright or whatever. Everybody thinks they can do it, but. It's a hard job, and but he's a very talented guy, and it was good to see him, bounce back. But he's just got to continue to work his technique and get the ball up, and he knows how to do that. He's a kid that's been training to be a kicker his entire life, and he understands the mechanics of it. But I understand the mechanics of my golf swing too, but I don't always get it right. I can tell you all about it, but I'll still hook that sucker over there in the water too in a heartbeat, unfortunately. So, it's just one of those things that you gotta just get your confidence and get some rhythm, and hopefully we can get him going.
I have a question about Garrett. I was watching him kind of on the field before Duke and before this past week, and you see a lot of coaches who they have their private time, have headphones on, they're grinding. He walks around like he doesn't have a care in the world. Even during the game, doesn't seem to ever get rattled. You see coaches who come out, offensive coordinators with the big, what our fans will call the Waffle House play sheets. He's got little cards and a pen. What have you learned about this guy through 2 games now?
Well, he's really got a call sheet, but he just folds it up. It's not cards and a pen. It's a call sheet, but he just likes to fold it up and look at whatever part that he's looking at. But it's a front and back, call sheet. But he's just. I just think that's just who he is. He's just. It's how he's been raised. He's a very even keel guy. He has fun. He keeps it loose. Had birthday yesterday, by the way. So happy birthday to G Money. We call him G Money. But he's just a great guy. He doesn't walk around like he's got all the answers or anything like that. He wants collaboration. He asks a lot of questions. He loves input. I love sitting in the quarterback meetings with him. It's like, we're sitting around at Melrose Place or something, it's just this chill environment. He's not a high-strung guy, so, I think that's just a kind of who he is, he's played quarterback, and he loves what he does. He loves it. He loves ball, and, He understands, you know, the good and the bad that comes with it. He likes to teach, but yeah, everybody, you know, it's just who he is. You know, just like Wes. You know, Wes is the same way. I mean, you just got just who you are. You know, some guys are, you know, Chad was, you know, chewed 8 packs of gum and drank 10 Red Bulls by halftime, right? And that's who he is. And you know, Tony was just very, very cerebral. He wanted to be away from everything, and he can, you know, 'cause he's an engineer, right? And everything had to be perfect all the time. He had to have an answer for everything. That's how Tony was wired. Like he's not going to bed unless he's got an answer for everything. That's how he is, and that's what I loved about Tony. And you know, this kid, Tony, this grown man here. I mean, what he did for his time here was amazing. And G Money, he's a little more, you know, he's a little more of a free spirit. You know, it didn't work. All right, next play. You know, well, we'll try that again. That wasn't good. You know, and I love that about him. You know, he's got a good understanding of it, and he also, you know, we think a lot alike in that, you know, it's matchups. I mean, it's matchups. Let's get the best players the ball, you know, and he's done a nice job of that to this point. And then also in game, you know, he's got a good feel for, you know, what's happening on the field. He's got a good feel for that.
In that way, with him being even killed, is he kind of the perfect foil for Cade, who can get
Yeah.
a little excited?
Yeah. Oh, he's been great. Yeah. Yeah. Cade's a run through a brick wall guy, for sure. And, you know, he's been a good fit for him.
Anyone else? All right, appreciate it.
Okay. Thank y'all.